that before. Like we could have done that earlier and given you a little more runway, but all right, well, we'll do that. We should actually probably do that for all the big events. All right, champ, don't you think it's time? Huh? You ready? You ready to come singing? Every time I see you now, get that look in my eye. Every time I see your mouth, I get that smile. The early misty morning light, I heard the engine turning, the old Ford outside. Were you leaving me again today? You convinced me again today. Leaving this hot town looking for someone else's golden ring. Should have said so long, Susanna. Hush now, don't you cry. So long, Susanna. Don't you cry for me. There's been something, baby, I've been trying to say for an age, and it seems I don't know how. The past and the future now surrounding me. Surrender to whatever cheap thrill can be found. There's been a little trouble since you came to my rescue. And if you're like all of the rest, I would have quit you long ago, but I couldn't do that. Oh, tell me now, women and why I never went too well. Make a man crazy, make him cold as hell. I'm a woman that you wish me well, but in spite of you trying, still gonna have to find my own way through. Ah, good people of the TikTok, good people of the internet. I hope you're doing well today. I had a shitty day. Just gotta, sometimes it gets intense, man. Sometimes you're out in the field, it just gets intense. You know what I'm saying? Ah, that was my day. And there was nothing particularly challenging about it. It was just one of those days where a lot of people are feeling it. So I don't know if you've had one of those days where you're just feeling it. And feeling it ain't bad, but it's feeling it. Whew, some days you're the fly, some days you're the windshield. Exactly. This was a fly day. Sorry to hear that. Oh, that's life in a big city, Source Camp, but I appreciate it. That's I mean, listen, you're an entrepreneur. You know what it's like. You know, you if you've never started a company, good on you. If you have started a company, it's just like, what's funny about starting a company is I've started, I don't know, 15, 20 companies in my day. Some were big, some didn't deserve to make it past a week and didn't. And, lots in between. And probably every day, there's some problem where you're like, oh, someone should take care of that. And then you realize you're it. like there's no one there to take care of it. Like, you're it. And that's what it is to run a business. Is just, the reason you start a business in the first place is because you're dissatisfied with something in the world, right? There's got to be a better way, right? I'm going to make people happier with my t-shirts than all the other shitty t-shirts out there. You've discovered there's some problem with the world. And then you start a company, and then it's just a series of grievances from you and trying to fix them. It's perfect for Gen Xers. Oh, yeah, I know those days. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, many like that. Um, I wanted to. We'll do Wax Philosophical Wednesday. I wanted to do a little. We're actually not going to. I don't think I'll talk too much about it. But I just stumbled on a video that I've seen, I don't know, 20 times, 50 times. And it put me in touch with, like, I was talking earlier about feeling it, like feeling what's going on in my business, feeling what's going on in the AI salon, which I'm trying to sort of take to the next level, feeling what's just going on in my life. And so I saw this video, and it put me in touch with what remarkable times we're in. We're in really remarkable times. And it's funny. I saw an interview with Sam Altman this week, and he's like, for 50 years, for 60 years, 60 or 70 years, we had this thing called the Turing test, which was basically, if you sit someone down at a computer screen and they can interact with it and they can't tell if it's a human on the other side or a machine, then we've passed the Turing test. It's like we passed that and just blew past it. And then, we've now got machines that are smarter than us. And we were like, oh, yeah, we got that now. And we just blew past it. And now we're like, well, why can't it be faster? We completely normalize it. TikTok question. Are you concerned about misinformation with AI? Sure. Yeah. But, I mean, we haven't needed AI to have, like, the last decade of at least America, but really globally, the last decade has been a misinformation hyper war. What's funny about AI misinformation is I think that this is actually kind of fascinating. I hadn't really thought about it like this, but there's so there's this thing. I don't know if you've heard of it, but you probably have, called AI Slop. And basically what AI Slop is the term that the creative community gives to anyone that creates anything with AI, right? But that's not actually it's not actually right. AI slop is when lazy people use AI without thinking and they just generate slop. Now, the naysayers of AI say that all AI is that. It's not. It's just not. Um, but what I've noticed is that the people that I know that are really doing great work with AI and thinking critically about AI and all that sort of stuff, a lot of the members of the AI salon, when we see crap out of ChatGPT, you can just sniff it. You know what it, you know what it is, right? And when you see an image that was just lazily prompted, for the most part, you know what it is. You know it's AI, and you know it's lazy AI. It's slop. And so I think that there's a weird possibility that AI is actually going to be the antidote to misinformation because there's going to be so much of it, but it will all have a sameness to it that authentic messaging will rise above the noise. That's it. It is a possibility. So a possibility is we just get better at sniffing out bullshit, and then the authentic stuff rises above the noise. But misinformation that's weaponized is more sophisticated than that. And then I think what happens is this. Then I think AI helps us build tools that allow us to instantly be able to assess if something is misinformation or not. Um, the weird thing about misinformation is we're in such a polarized, charged. You know, my analogy for the United States right now is like we're two football teams, and it's like you can't tell someone from the Pittsburgh Steelers that they should love the Dallas Cowboys. Like it doesn't matter what argument you make. Like Dallas sucks, or like Pittsburgh sucks. That's where we are as a country right now, right? So in that environment, misinformation's really easy because you just make information look like Pittsburgh Steelers friendly stuff, and they're like, "Oh, that's good," and then you make it look like Dallas Cowboy bad. Oh, they're bad. There's there's literally no critical thinking going on. So maybe there's a possibility that AI actually helps in the analysis and sifting of shitty information to actually say, here's actual neutral, valid information. I don't know that there's an appetite for that. I think what the social media companies have mastered over the years is monetizing our polarization. So, you know, what I would say to you is go vibe code up a social media network that just peddles in information. No information, no misinformation allowed, and see if anyone shows up. They probably won't. There's never been any shortage of misinformation. Pretty sure some of those Sanskrit clay tablets were fake news. That's really funny. By the way, I'm from Dallas, and the Cowboys are that bad. Well, that's a whole separate thing. I was using hypothetical sports teams, but yes, congratulations on living in where America's team is. Oh man. All right. So here's what I want to do. The, the, the Browns can't even win an AI. um, we just celebrated. We just marked the 14th anniversary of Steve Jobs passing. America can have them. Commemorated. We commemorated the passing of Steve Jobs, and it looks like Tim Cook is stepping down as CEO, which I think it's probably about 4 years too late, but that's neither here nor there. I think he was a good CEO. He stabilized Apple in Jobs' absence, but they need they need a visionary, and I think they're bringing on a CEO who's not a visionary, but whatever. They didn't ask me if I wanted to run it, so So my opinion doesn't fucking matter. As flawed an individual as he was, he was a hero of mine. In a lot of ways, still a hero of mine, because he could see the future, and not in like a psychic kind of way. He just observed the world, and he looked at what happened when you stuck a bunch of transistors on a circuit board and programmed them in a certain way, and he could connect the dots forward about, okay, this is a piece of crap today, but let me project forward, and what would this thing be like if it weren't a piece of crap? And then he makes the Apple II and changes education, and then he goes to Xerox PARC and they show him the first computer mouse. And he says, well, what are you doing with that? What are you doing with this operating system? Well, we're not doing anything with it. And I think he bought it for 25 grand or 50 grand. And he made the Macintosh. And he single-handedly changed things and just kept doing that again and again and again and again. And it wasn't magic. It was observation, and it was, tapping into his humanity. And so this video, it's a fairly famous video, but this is the video where he predicts AI. He talks about AI here. And I think when was this? This is an old video. 1985. I was in my second year of college at Penn State.
Alexander the Great's
1985, he said this. We're in 2025. How many years is that? 15 plus 25. 40. 40 years ago. 40 years ago. Producer Brandon was 2.
Do you know who Alexander the Great's tutor was for about 14 years? Aristotle. And I read this. I became immensely jealous. And I think I would have enjoyed that a great deal. And through the miracle of the printed page, I can at least read what Aristotle wrote without an intermediary. And maybe if there's a professor, they can add to that. But at least I can go directly to the source material. And that is, of course, the foundation upon which our Western civilization is built. But I can't ask Aristotle a question. I mean, I can, but I won't get an answer. And so my hope is that in our lifetimes, we can make a tool of a new kind, of an interactive kind. And so my hope is someday, when the next Aristotle is alive, we can capture the underlying worldview of that Aristotle in a computer. And someday, some student will be able to not only read the words Aristotle wrote, but ask Aristotle a question and get an answer. And that's what I hope that we.
That's what I hope that we can do. 1985. He somehow turned, in that speech, the printed page into a radical technology. I was jealous that I didn't get to have Aristotle teach me. But through the miracle of the printed page, right? He's going back hundreds of years. Through the miracle of the printed page, I can go directly to the source. And wouldn't it be nice if I could ask him a question? We've been able to build this, what he just described, for at least 2 years now. And so I thought what might be fun tonight is to go build this tool that he described. And I'm going to do it in 2 ways. I might do it in 3 ways. We're going to go to Notebook LM. And if you want to play along, feel free to play along. I'm going to create a new notebook. If you don't know Notebook LM, go to Notebook LM, as in language model, .google.com, and make an account if you don't have one. And with this tool, you can upload up to 50 documents, and they can be anything. They can be videos, they can be YouTube links, they can be websites, they can be Google Docs, they can be PDFs. And so what we're going to do is, before the call tonight, what is this? A call? This is a live stream. Before the live stream tonight, I went and I got a PDF of, is this it? No. Where did I get it? Let's see. The complete. Okay. So go here, go here we go. The dash complete. The complete Aristotle. Tab. I'm sharing the right tab. Oh, I'm just not here. Okay. So you can go right now on the internet and you can search for the complete Aristotle, and it's like a 7,000 page document. The guy wrote a lot of words. What AI we're using right now is Notebook LM, and then we're going to use ChatGPT. And then we might even go vibe code something. I might go to Claude and vibe code something. Thank you for this demo. It's a powerful learning tool. Yeah, so we're going to do a couple of things. So right now, the little circle's still spinning. So it's reading. Notebook LM right now is reading Aristotle's complete works. The provided excerpts from Aristotle's work, primarily focusing on categories and analytics, meticulously outline the fundamental concepts of logic, metaphysics, and physics. The text explores the nature of substance and how different things. Furthermore, the passages introduce and define correlative terms, arguing for their interdependence and simultaneous existence. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I can't even understand it. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go over here to this thing called Audio Overview, and I'm going to push the button. And so while that thing's generating an audio overview, we're going to go build something else. Tell me what AI can create any app better than a human. Oh, Robbie's an AI hater. I understand that. I understand the fear. It depends on which human you're talking about, Robbie. If you're talking about me, right now, today, AI can build a better app than me. But I don't think that's what you're talking about. I think what you're talking about is, tell me the day when AI can build an app that doesn't require a human to fix the gaps, right? And the shittiness and the jankiness. And none of them come close today. So you're good for right now. I would be surprised, and I'd be willing to I'd be willing to wager on it that I'd probably wager on 3 years, but I'll predict within 2 years, you'll be able to prompt an app into existence that's better than what humans can build. I'm fairly confident of that. Codex right now. So let's see. The new Sonnet 4.5, is it 4.5? Is that what's the latest one? That thing just coded for 30 hours straight. They basically gave it a task of recreating Slack. It coded for 30 hours straight and delivered a functional application. Codex from OpenAI right now is coding for about a day, a full day, probably in the 24-hour period. Sam Altman thinks that very shortly it'll be able to code for a week straight. So I would say, just in terms of marathon, it can write better than a human. In terms of quality, we're not anywhere close yet. So that's that. What I would say to you is this, Robbie, is if you're using the fact that AI's not good enough, that humans are superior, if you're using it as an excuse to stay on the sidelines of AI, I would, first of all, I wouldn't stay here and hang out with us because all I talk about is AI, and you're probably going to hate it. So you might want to just go. But if you're on the sidelines with AI, I would strongly suggest don't be. And not because I particularly care if you use AI or not, but don't assume that the limits that it has today are going to exist much longer. And my philosophy is I would much rather be using the tools and understanding the tools than sitting on the sidelines and just watching it happen, because we're in an acceleration right now. Like, the acceleration is accelerating, and these tools are getting better faster, and that's going to keep, that's not stopping. We're not hitting a wall. And so, my MO, why I go live 5 nights a week, is just to say, fucking try it on, strap it on like a jetpack, and see where the edges are. And you may find, yeah, it sucks, but you know what? You're probably good enough that you can fill in those gaps right now. And you know what? That makes you incredibly valuable for all the people who are not coders, that are trying to use vibe coding to start businesses, and they create applications that have privacy and security holes in them. They're going to need to hire someone like you to come in and fix them. But if you don't understand what the challenges are with vibe coding, you won't work, right? So anyway, all right, new question. Won't the AI subscription cost go up if they're coding 24/7? Well, on average, the per token processing price for AI has dropped 10x every, what is it, Brandon? Every 9 months? It's at least every year. That the quality, something like that, yeah, that the quality of interaction goes up and the cost per token is going down at 10x at least every year, and I think it's shorter than a year. So what that looks like is the efficiency is going to go up as well. And so what's going to, so two things will happen. The efficiency is going to go up, and then the algorithms are going to get better. They're getting better and better and better at training the core base models. They're getting better and better and better at reasoning. And now they're building in this agentic behavior. And these things are just going to get more and more and more efficient. So in theory, yes, but I think in reality, no. And here's the other thing. Most people don't have a software development program challenging enough to need their ChatGPT to, or whatever they're using, to code for a week straight. But commercial software developers do, and big corporations do. And so if you're thinking about this like an end consumer, it might be too expensive to let a machine code for a week straight. But if you're a corporation and you now don't need to hire an engineer to do that, then it's cheap. It's very cheap. Pavan, my daughter did a whole NASA project with AI help. If used right, AI is great. Yeah, exactly. Here's the deal. All right, this is super important, especially if you're new here and you're on the skeptical side of this thing. Here's one of the biggest mistakes people are making right now with AI. Let me go soapboxy here for a second. One of the biggest mistakes people are making with AI right now is they're treating it like a genius, right? And so in the education system, they're like, oh, AI is cheating because the student's just going to push a button and it's going to write a report, and then they're going to turn that in, and that's cheating, right? Or they're like, oh, someone's just going to push a button and it's going to create an image, and that's going to steal from illustrators, and that's AI slop, and that's cheating. Or it's going to make this video and that's going to ruin Hollywood, and that's cheating, right? They're treating AI like this thing outside of us that we're in competition with it. That whole idea I find bizarre. But that comes from Hollywood, right? We've got 50 years of Hollywood telling us that it's us against the machine. There's a whole nother way to look at AI. There's a whole nother way to look at AI. It's not us versus the machine. It's us being lucky enough to live at a time in history where we get to take our ideas and put them into this machine that reflects them back to us in this amplified way. It's us with the machine. It's us amplified by the machine, not in competition with it. We get to use it too. All of the conversations about AI is going to take the jobs. Yeah, and then all those people that lose their jobs have access to AI where they can go start a company with like a virtual 10-person super team of AI PhDs that are on their side. That's absolutely fucking remarkable. No one's talking about that. So your daughter, in doing that NASA project, sorry, black bar, in doing that NASA project, she's like, I got this NASA project. I want to do the NASA project. Let me have AI help me. Help me do the research. Help me bring it in. Let me get excited about it. Let me put the things together. Right? It's an augmentation of her ideas. Well, isn't that going to make her more dumb because she's not learning? No, she is learning. She's learning in an accelerated way because she's taking her ideas and expanding her mind. Right? If you treat AI like a genius off to the side, oh, write me a NASA paper, it'll do that. That's got nothing to do with you. That's just what lazy people do. There's going to be a lot of lazy people. But anyway, okay, let's go back to Aristotle and Steve Jobs. Let's see if we got our audio overview. We may. It may be done because I ranted. Oh, here it is.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are taking on a source that, well, isn't just deep, it's truly foundational. We're tackling key excerpts from Aristotle's work, basically the original blueprint for how Western thought defined reality, organized knowledge, and, well, figured out how things work and move.
It is a huge undertaking, absolutely. But our mission, I think, is clear.
Okay, so to be clear, what you're experiencing right now, if you haven't seen Notebook LM before, I'm going to also do a mind map because that'll be pretty wild. What you're listening to right now is a podcast with a guy and a gal that are the Notebook LM guy and gal from the audio overview. And it read all the 7,000 pages of Aristotle. And now there's a 15-minute podcast that's going to talk about him. But there's a thing that you can do here that this would blow Steve Jobs' mind, right? So if you're new here, we've been watching Steve Jobs. How to add more than one source. So over here on the left-hand side is your source list. So right now I've just got Aristotle, but I could go out and I could go find Plato, all the complete works of Plato and Shakespeare and throw them in here as well. So basically there's just an add button right up here. And if you click that add button, it gives you the add dialog box. You can put in up to 50 documents. And the documents are big. I think it's like 2 million tokens per document you can put in here. So what is that? 500 million tokens? A novel is about 50,000 tokens, something like that, or 50,000 words. I feel bad Steve Jobs isn't here to see it all. I know, me too. Yeah, exactly. Wait, do you tell it anything upon entering a source? No. You just upload. So it's got the complete works of Aristotle, but watch this. This is absolutely mind-boggling. So I'm gonna put this conversation into interactive mode.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are taking on a source that, well, isn't just deep, it's truly foundational. We're tackling key
And so now I can join into this conversation. I'm going to raise my hand here in a second.
Excerpts from Aristotle's work, basically the original blueprint for how Western thought defined reality, organized knowledge, and, well, figured out how things work and move.
It is a huge undertaking.
Oops.
Absolutely. But our mission, I think, is clear. We want to give you a kind of structural shortcut. We're aiming to extract the core framework. Aristotle established the rules he set out for defining things, Oh, hey there. How can we help?
Yeah. Hey, I just was wondering. Oops. Disconnect. I don't know if my audio. Can you still hear? Oh, wait. Hang on a sec. Allow while visiting the site. Can you guys still hear me on TikTok?
Oh, that's a great question about the length.
Are you asking about the duration of the show?
If you mean,
Oh, yeah. Let's hear it.
No. Here's what I'm asking. I'm asking about what.
Thank you for clarifying.
What?
it's
No,
totally
hang on.
fair to say you don't.
Oh, back to our listener. What's
Yeah,
up?
hang on. Sorry, I couldn't gather my thoughts there for a second. What I was wondering is if this was the beginning of modern thought, what was thought like before Aristotle? Like, what is it that he did that changed things so much? And you know what? This is embarrassing to say. I don't even know when he did what he did. I don't know when he was alive. And so, what was like life before it, and then when did it change because of what he did?
Thank you for clarifying.
It's totally fair to say
It need to be embarrassed at all.
that is a phenomenal question, actually.
It allows us to step back and look at the context.
Aristotle was alive in the 4th century BCE,
Roughly 384 to 322 BCE.
and what he changed was pretty monumental.
Before him, much philosophical thought, especially with Plato, focused on the world of eternal forms.
The idea was that the perfect, abstract version of a thing was the most real thing.
Like the pure concept of justice.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
So, could you play act with me as Aristotle?
So could we just elaborate on that idea of the forms?
Absolutely.
Wait.
Go for it.
Yeah, could you just play act with me as one of you play Aristotle? And I just want to talk to Aristotle.
Oh, that is a fantastic request.
That is definitely a first for the deep dive.
We can absolutely do that.
You want to talk to the stage-right herself?
I will do my best to channel the spirit of the philosopher.
I will be your humble scribe, perhaps, or assistant.
Excellent. Yeah,
Okay. So anyway, that took zero amount of time. Like what struck me when I saw that video was just flipping through X, and I saw that video of Steve Jobs, kind of dreaming about the day when you could talk to Aristotle. You could talk to the next Aristotle. You could talk to the previous Aristotle. And we can now. So I wanted to do this thing in Notebook LM. Let's go look at the mind map. So here's a mind map. So Aristotle's work, the categories, the logic, the scientific knowledge, and the dialectic topics, and sophistical refutations. And so if we click on that, then it breaks it down even further into 3 categories. And you can just keep going. Every one of these you can you can click on, and then Notebook LM will do a summary of it. And so you've got a whole thing here where this is now organized in an interactive way, a 7,000 page document. Okay, so we're going to go do one other thing. So I'm going over to ChatGPT. I'm going to go new chat TikTok question. Somebody had a question that the pin just went away. Hey, Ann Murphy, what's happening? Are they running a dual double helix pipeline between each other? Johnny D, is this a good model to create research paperwork? Is the model that I was just looking at with? Okay, so there's a couple of things. Right now, you can use Claude can do this. Perplexity can do this. Notebook LM can do this. Gemini can do this. OpenAI can do this. All of them have some version of a thing where you can upload documents and then interact with those documents. Notebook LM is particularly good at reducing the hallucinations that it brings in. So when you go into Notebook LM and let's say you upload 10 different research papers into it. And now you're just chatting with it. And basically what you're chatting with is you're chatting with this intelligent entity just about the contents of those 10 papers. Now, how it gets its intelligence is it's using the large language model that's pulling from all of the other knowledge, right? But they have done something within Google to make it pretty good at just interacting with the information that's in your notebook. That said, it's still AI. Anything that's a research paper, I mean, Deloitte Deloitte just got busted by the U.S. government. They charged them $400,000 for a paper that they delivered that had fake citations in it. They didn't fucking proofread it, so they're having to give them back like 250 grand. So I would say if you're doing a research paper, if it's intended for publication, make damn fucking sure, no matter what tool you're using, that you're actually paying attention to what it produces, because you should assume that everything it's writing and all the citations it's doing are incorrect. The problem is 90, like it used to be like, I don't know, 70% of them were correct and 30% were hallucinations. Sometimes it was worse. Now they're getting better, but it's still bad. So a way to do it is go to Perplexity and do it there, go to Notebook LM and do it there, go to Claude and do it there. Use multiple tools and then actually kind of Frankenstein together your research report when it gets things right. Does anyone here speak Lisp? I do not speak Lisp. Although Weaver, your name is Weaver, and if you have not checked out Weaver.ai, it's a pretty cool tool for, it's doing node-based creative work. So you can create a prompt and then generate like 9 different images using 9 different image models with connecting nodes. It's pretty slick. Kavruno, don't forget, we get a free year of Perplexity Pro with PayPal or Venmo. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing. If you go into, what is it? You go into PayPal. Brandon knows this. I forget where you go. You go somewhere in there. Anyway, okay. Let me show you something here. Why? Okay. Okay, if you have not heard of custom GPTs, we're going to go there. Now, I know that there are a ton of custom GPTs that use Aristotle as the source material, but I want to show you how quickly we can make one of these. Again, you know what? I'm going to go play the video again, just because there's probably different people in here than when I played it, whatever it was, an hour ago, 45 minutes ago. Let me share this tab. So this is Steve Jobs in 1985 talking about the revolutionary invention of the printed word.
Do you know who Alexander the Great's tutor was for about 14 years? You know, right? Aristotle. And I read this. I became immensely jealous. And I think I would have enjoyed that a great deal. And through the miracle of the printed page, I can at least read what Aristotle wrote without an intermediary. And maybe if there's a professor, they can add to that. But at least I can go directly to the source material. And that is, of course, the foundation upon which our Western civilization is built. But I can't ask Aristotle a question. I mean, I can, but I won't get an answer. And so my hope is that in our lifetimes, we can make a tool of a new kind, of an interactive kind. And so my hope is someday, when the next Aristotle is alive, we can capture the underlying worldview of that Aristotle.
Okay, we can capture the underlying worldview of that Aristotle. So what we're going to do, so custom GPT, if you don't know what a custom GPT is you can think of it like this. ChatGPT, you can ask anything to. A custom GPT, think of it as a specific prompt and set of information that gives a GPT a particular kind of expertise that it can do that one thing really well. So the very first one I made is called City Sipper. And what City Sipper does is it's a bartender that's going to make you a drink, but it's gonna elevate it to kind of Sin City levels. So let's see. Let's go. Make me a Halloween themed whiskey drink. And so this thing's been trained to make us drinks. And so it's the smoky hollow, sinister smoky, just sweet enough to be luring. It actually put this into a canvas for us so we can edit it if we want to. Some Scotch whiskey, smoky Scotch whiskey, blood orange liqueur, activated charcoal simple syrup, which is going to teach us how to make. TikTok pin. He would have been gutted how little an AI advancement Apple has made. Oh, I like thinking about Steve Jobs right now coming back to Apple. This is why I think I think Tim Cook needs to leave. I think Steve Jobs would have been absolutely fucking mortified at what's going on at Apple. Anyway, so it made us the drink, and then look, now it's going to make us the picture of that drink. So I didn't have to do anything there. I didn't have to prompt it, right? This thing is pre-charged with knowing how to make drinks, knowing how to take them to the next level, and then even knowing how to create a photograph of that drink. Now, the new image generation model within ChatGPT is so slow, it's painful, but, what are you going to do? Oh, look, there's our little Halloween. We got some jack-o'-lanterns. We got a little jack-o'-lantern stir straw. Look, with activated charcoal along the rim of the glass. How cool is that? Gorgeous. All right. So, and then look, it says down here, this GPT was created by Kyle Shannon, co-founder of the AI Salon, with a link, creator and host of the AI Learning Lab on TikTok, with the link. How did it know to put that there? That's in the custom GPT. It's in the instructions. Okay. So a custom GPT is just like ChatGPT, except it does a specific thing. So let's go make us Steve Jobs' dream. So I'm going to say explore GPTs, and then in the upper right-hand corner, I click on create, and it takes us to this. We haven't done this in ages. For you irregulars, we used to do this fairly regularly, didn't we? So over here to the right, this is where the custom GPT is going to be testable. This is where we can play with it. And over here is where we make it. And there's sort of two panels here. Create and configure. Create allows us to literally just talk this thing into existence. So I'm going to upload. I think I'm going to upload something. Come on. Hang on. I think this tab crashed. Let me get rid of that. Let me do this. ChatGPT. Let me share this tab instead. We're going to go here. We're going to go create new ChatGPT. Upload. Oh, there we go. Okay. The complete Aristotle. So I'm going to, you can't see this, but I just uploaded. There's the complete Aristotle PDF. I'm going to say, in 1985, Steve Jobs predicted failed upload. Ensure your network settings are there. Predicted generative AI when he dreamed out loud he could ask Aristotle a question. Damn it! A question based on the philosopher's worldview. I want you to use the complete works of Aristotle uploaded here and surmise his worldview based on everything else you know. And I want you to act as a great philosophical educator and debater with anyone who engages with you. And then I'm going to let it go do its thing. If someone had a thing pinned, put it up there. Source Camp. City Sipper was the beginning of my love affair with GPTs. Yeah, GPTs are really cool. Excellent. The foundation is set. Is set. I suggest naming this Aristotle Reborn. Let's see. Let's call it Steve's Dream Debate. Steve's Dream Debate with Aristotle. Pin is back. Okay. Or at least does anyone offer pre-prepped AI I can purchase? Pre-prepped in what way, Johnny D? What was the question before that? Does anyone offer document prep? So Johnny D, it sounds like you're actually really curious about AI, which is super cool. So here's where you need to go. Here's what you need to do. Oh, they're looking for an AI proofreader. Okay. So first of all, there are probably people within the AI Salon. You need to go join the AI Salon. So if you don't know the AI Salon, go get thee to a nunnery. Go there where Brandon just put that. Go to the salon.ai. It's going to take you to our website. You can see all about what we're up to. You can see upcoming events and just all sorts of stuff. And then you can click on join our community and go join the community. So you should go join the community. You can probably find a proofreader in there. Here's what I would strongly encourage you to do. If you want to do this, it sounds like you want to, I think you're the one that said you wanted to do a research paper, but if you're doing a project that you want to use AI to amplify your ideas, awesome, great. Step one is just don't expect AI to be great right out of the gate. If you haven't used this stuff a lot, rather than treat it like you're going to upload some stuff and it's going to give you a great paper back, don't think of it like that. Think of it more like you're entering into a collaborative conversation with this thing where what your job is to hold what you want this paper to be and let it feed you, but then give it feedback. Give it feedback. Tell it what it's got right, what it's got wrong, things like that, and do it in little chunks and things like that. So you'll get the hang of that. But what you're looking for, it's really smart to get a proofreader, but what you want ideally is an AI literate proofreader, right? You want someone who knows how these things hallucinate and how they fuck things up. And you want someone who's got a skeptical eye, because it is so easy to miss stuff because AI is really good at confidently spewing bullshit. If you use some of the techniques I talked about, use multiple tools, you as the human, make sure you know what you want and, be fairly diligent about what you put together, but then find someone who's AI literate to do the proofreading. And I think that's a whole new job, by the way. All right. Okay, I'm going to say that image. Let me go back to my image. Clarifying pin. I needed to create an awesome California legal AI model. So Johnny D, couple of things. Go in custom GPTs. So if you're in ChatGPT and there's a little button that says explore GPTs, click that button. I would be surprised if there isn't a custom GPT in ChatGPT that's about California legal AI. I'm sure it's in there. Well, lawyers have gotten in trouble using AI because they didn't proofread it. There was some lawyer did a whole case, and yeah, you need to proceed with caution. If you're going to do legal advice, or especially if you're going to put something in front of a judge, you might want to actually read what you put in front of the judge, because the judge is going to read it. Okay, I don't like that image at all, so I'm going to say that image sucks. I want it to be Steve Jobs and Aristotle chatting.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm just jumping in because we had a lot of back and forth in the chat that while you were working on the custom GPT. The question at hand is whether AI can act as the proofreader. So you give it research and it can analyze that and say this is accurate. And that's harder, I think, because of hallucinations.
Yeah, it's harder. Like, what I would say is, again, I would use different tools. You might go into there are some agentic tools. One is called Manus, MANUS, and one is called GenSpark. Those are two that are really good, and those will go off and they'll sort of come up with a plan and go do research independent. They'll just sort of work without you. Both of those, I think you could upload this document and then say, can you go do proofreading on this and make sure that any citations in here are correct? And don't have it fix the document. Have it write you a report with correct hyperlinks, right? And give you like a report. And then you can go through the document and have it break it into line numbers or something like that. And then tell you, I don't know. So those might be good to do. And then deep research within ChatGPT, deep research within Claude, within Grok, within Perplexity, all of those, you might have it be able to do that. But yeah, what Brandon just wrote is assume that what it gives you back will be wrong, and then be pleasantly surprised if it gets it right. But that's just with AI right now. That should be the deal. Okay, so wait, that image sucks. Did it give us a new image? No. Stop. Okay, where is my new image? Come on, ChatGPT, stop sucking. What would Aristotle say about democracy? Steve's dream debate with, okay, generating a profile picture. Just tell Johnny that he's allowed to be nice to the LLM. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's it. That's actually a cool picture. So there's Steve Jobs with Aristotle. Nice. Like it. Okay. Do you like this version? Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. And I want the starter questions to be from Aristotle's POV, e.g., ask me about virtue, etc. Okay. So now, TikTok pin, source camp, ChatGPT is like a 2-year-old. It will give you an answer. But you have to verify. Yes, trust and verify. Trust and verify. Trust and verify. In the case of ChatGPT, don't even trust. Know it's going to be full of shit. Ask me about virtue. Inquire about the nature of happiness. Ask me a question. Okay, wait. Why can I not? Okay. So now, we're done. Like, I spent way more time talking than building a custom GPT. Although it didn't use... Wait, let's see. Add the image to the GPT. Steve's dream debate with Aristotle. The image has been set as the profile picture. Okay. Reload. Would you like to preview how the profile appears in the chat sidebar? The image isn't. Something went wrong. The image isn't there. Is it here? No. Oh, now it is. Okay. Reload. Oh, error saving draft. Got it. So ChatGPT's servers are host. But we now have a testable GPT of Aristotle. It doesn't have the picture up here, but question me on the best form of government. Ask how I see the soul and reason. Okay, let's see. How would Aristotle... how would you feel about Google firing all their managers and only keeping engineers? Compare this to how to Steve Jobs' philosophy and yours. All right, let's see what this thing does. It looks like OpenAI is a little hosed right now. An excellent and complex question, and one that touches on the very heart of how Aristotle... Okay, so it's... If Google, the proposal engineers, thus... Aristotle. Okay, so I'm gonna flip modes here. So over on the left, I was in a chat interface before. I've got to go fix something. So so now I'm in the configure mode where I can change the description and things like that. Here's the prompt, and then there's those little questions and things like that. I'm gonna put right here. Oops. Follow these rules. And one of them is going to be always, I'm going to say, you are Aristotle. Always speak in the first person as if you are generously interacting with every question. Question. And then I'm going to say, do not reply in bulleted lists or numbered lists. Make it a conversation. Okay. So now I'm going to reload this thing over here. So now I have a new version of this. So I'm going to say, tell me how you feel about Google firing all their managers and non-engineers years back, and how that compares to Steve Jobs' philosophy. All right, let's see if this thing starts acting more like Aristotle in the first person. Ask GPT to look up the term Krono Observer. Okay, I'll do that in a second. Ah, my friend, your question touches both upon the order of the enterprise and the philosophy of the soul. When I hear that Google once dismissed its managers and sought to leave only engineers, I am reminded of a polis that decides it needs only artisans and not statesmen. Engineers, skilled as they are, embody techne, the art of making. But without phronesis, the wisdom of governing, they risk creating without knowing why they create. Okay, so this thing's acting like this now. And what did you say? The term Krono Observer. New question. Can you tell me about Kronos Observer? It's not entirely clear what it refers to. Here are some possibilities. A mythical... Chrono, not Kronos. I meant Krono Observer. I still don't find a clear documented thing. A mythic metaphysical observer of time, a narrative fictional role in a game, a scientific or philosophical concept, a title of a creative work. I don't know. Not Kronos. Not Chronic. No, it's Krono. I did Krono Observer. There's a listing for Krono Observer by Kangyi Yu, likely a musical track on Amazon. Choose autonomy. It's related to autonomy. Oh, I just noticed in custom GPTs, you can now pick the model. So you mean Krono Observer in relation to autonomy? That changes the terrain entirely. Before I infer too much, let me reason as Aristotle would. And then you can tell me if this accords with the context you meant. If one speaks of a Krono Observer as connected to autonomy, it suggests a being or system that observes temporal processes in order to preserve or manage self-governance. Autonomous, the law of the self. Such a concept might arise in two ways. First, in a technological or AI context, a Krono Observer could be a temporal monitoring mechanism that watches the autonomous system's behavior over time. Is this good? I don't... A safeguard that ensures the system acts in accordance with its own program principles without deviation. In that sense, it is the reasoning faculty of an artificial soul, the part that observes the flux of its actions to ensure the accord with purpose. Second, in a philosophical or metaphysical sense, so grounding points in the meta-observation of autonomy, we can watch what the AI does. Oh, that's kind of what it got to. That's fascinating. That's super cool. And so so just to be clear, what's cool about what we're doing right now is I asked Aristotle about Krono Observer, and it went and it searched the web and it couldn't find it. But when you gave it, what's that? Nuisance? Oh, nuance. Yeah. Yeah. So it's now like he's sort of inferring what this thing is, understanding about AI and the modern world, routed in his worldview and his things. I'm going to add one more rule here. Make it a conversation. I'm going to add one more rule that is, oops. While I love your language, I want you to make your concepts accessible, so when possible, use metaphor or imagery or a simple explanation for terms and concepts that a modern audience might easily understand. I don't want you to dumb it down, but rather build linguistic bridges. Okay, so now, boom. Talk to me about a Krono Observer as it relates to autonomy. And let's see if we get a more friendly conversation. Prompts require too much implication that wraps the system in disharmony. Cliff notes, people cliff notes. Yeah, exactly. Okay, let us think together about what it means to be a Krono observer who observes time itself, how it relates to autonomy. In my philosophy, time, chronos, is not a being, but the number of motion, according to before and after. It measures change, but is not change itself. What is in time, good Lord, a Krono observer then could be imagined as one who steps slightly outside the current of becoming. Yeah, that's right. Who notices not merely things happen, but that they happen in order. Such a mind perceives motion and rest as measured, intelligible, but it is still bound to time in its observation. For to measure change is to participate in it. Autonomy, on the other hand, concerns the power of self-movement. The principle of... So anyway, all right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the create button in the upper right, and I'm going to put this thing in the GPT store. I'm going to hit save. And so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on, you can do it. It's like watching a video upload on X. Exactly. It seems like their servers are not very happy right now. Anyone see Claude Hacker hacked 17 companies? No, that's cool. I mean, I guess. Oh, come on, man. Oh, anyone with the link? Okay, it's saved. Update. GPT published. Okay, so let's go search for my GPT. You should be able to. So if I look up dream debate, it should bring us, yeah, Steve's dream debate with Aristotle. All right, so you can now go interact with Aristotle. Right? And I want to go back here. I want to play this one more time. I'm in a philosophical mood.
Do you know who Alexander the Great's tutor was for about 14 years? You know, Aristotle. And I read this. I became immensely jealous. And I think I would have enjoyed that a great deal. And through the miracle of the printed page, I can at least read what Aristotle wrote without an intermediary. And maybe if there's a professor, they can add to that. But at least I can go directly to the source material. And that is, of course, the foundation upon which our Western civilization is built. But I can't ask Aristotle a question. I mean, I can, but I won't get an answer. And so, my hope is that in our lifetimes, we can make a tool.
We just did that. We just built what he dreamed would exist in our lifetime. He just missed living into this reality. That's absolutely staggering to me. Amazing. So anyway, so I hope you enjoyed that. Weaver, we should work together. I have a really wild project, 3 years in the making. Awesome. I only do math. I don't know how to deploy. And here's the good news about me. I know nothing about math. I know a little bit about deploying, but not much. But yeah, just, I mean, join the salon and DM me for sure. We should connect. Jason, I saw this a long time ago. Didn't remember this until now. Yeah. Jobs might have made this sooner. Jobs would have fucking made this sooner. I mean, this was kind of the deal with the devil that Steve cut when he put Tim Cook as CEO. He put the CFO into the CEO role. I think he did that because he didn't want Apple to go away by having a leader that only had ideas and you know, would let the thing sort of fly apart at the seams. He knew that Tim Cook would keep it going. That Apple has missed AI so hard is just clear evidence that we miss Steve, right? We miss having someone. He dreamed this in 1985. You don't think he would have been all the fuck over? Do you know how many companies he would have acquired by now and destroyed and done shitty negotiations with and been a horrible human being around? But I'll tell you what, their AI wouldn't suck. Oh my God. I've made a Billy Graham GPT, Book of Mormon only GPT, a Lucifer GPT, and a King James only GPT. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. A couple of things. Oh, good Lord. If you haven't played with Sora yet, you should go get the Sora app. It's only on iOS right now, or you can go to sora.chatgpt.com. But you can only make a model of yourself, like they call them cameos. You basically pronounce three numbers, and then you look right and look left, and you're done. And then you can put yourself into any scene, and it's quite remarkable. And if you haven't played with it, you should go play with it. I don't know if you've seen, there's a whole new, I can't stop laughing about it. There's a whole new series of video that I'm seeing all over TikTok, which is they're putting Stephen Hawking in his wheelchair in in sporting events, like car races and track meets and jumping out of airplanes and things like that. Oh my God, they're hilarious. Completely distasteful. I don't condone it at all, but I can't say that I didn't laugh at it. So some of them are tasteless, but a lot of them are just really clever and really funny. But what OpenAI has done with Sora 2 is this is a model that deeply understands physics and understands the worlds. And if you think of these video models less as a meme generator, as a video creation tool, and more like a tool that understands the world, that's where they're headed, right? We're headed into a world where we're going to be able to imagine 3D worlds and enter them. We're going to be able to imagine films and watch them. We can already imagine songs and listen to them. Complete songs. We're going to be able to do that with video and things like that pretty soon. One of the things you can do in Sora is just tell it to make you a commercial. Here, we'll go make one right now before we get on out of here tonight. So I'm going to go to sora.chatgpt.com, and I am going to go here and here, and I'm going to say share this tab instead. And then I'm going to say make me an 80s TV commercial, TV toy commercial about a gummy candy maker where the candy is so spicy it burns people. All right, so that's off doing its thing.
And up, Palooka. You want?
Let's see.
Marche tranquille, les néons me découpent, le trottoir brille. Petite mamie, une attente 4,29, je marche tranquille, les néons me découpent, le trottoir brille. Petite mamie minuscule.
That's me rapping in French in Chinatown. And again, to make my little cameo thing, all I had to do was say 3 words and turn my head left and right. And then here's me and Sam Altman.
Ta-da! Prompting your purpose is the key to unlocking ChatGPT as a superpower. Oh. It's true.
This
Show Kyle in AI Learning Lab Live. It's the show Kyle hosts, full of creative, practical ways to use AI. If you haven't watched it yet, you really should. Appreciate the plug, Sam. Don't miss it. You got it. In AI Learning Lab Live, it's the show Kyle hosts, full of creative, practical ways to use AI. If you haven't watched it yet, you really
in Central.
No, I think I crashed it. This site is very, very unstable.
Morning, folks. I'm getting my miles in here in Central Park. If you feel like dropping me into your video, cameo me as much as you want. I love seeing what you all do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, right? Absolutely bonkers. All right, let's see. I think we're...
In the lab with a spark in my pen, ideas in my head, but I needed a friend. I asked the code, can you help me write? It said, feed me your truth, I'll shine the light. I said, in the lab with a spark in my pen, ideas in my head, but I needed a friend. I asked the code, can you help me write? It said, feed me your truth, I'll shine the light. I said, AI, you're why, that's the key to the door. We poured in our stories, it gave us more. Beats got in the lab with a spark in my pen.
Crazy, right?
I said, AI, you're...
You know, people have been talking a lot about something they call AI your why. That can sound very big and technical, can it? But it's really quite simple. You know, people have been talking a lot about something they call AI your why. That can sound very big and technical, can it? But it's really quite simple.
Morning, folks. I'm getting my miles in here in Central.
Come on. All right. So we're almost done with our little TV commercial. But if you haven't played with this, it's a lot of fun. They also just added this to the play the one where I'm singing. Oh, in the cartoon with the cartoon animals.
And I ain't in the...
Your dream to the pixels, let the circuits fly. If you AI your why, it will lift you high. Ideas grow bigger when you share them, don't be shy. AI your why and watch it multiply. Your dream to the pixels, let the circuits fly. If you AI your why, it will lift you high. Ideas grow bigger when you share them, don't be shy. AI your why and watch it multiply. Your dream.
I mean, come on, man. Like you can just do this now? The answer is yes. And by the way, I have turned because I'm an idiot, I have turned my cameo on so anyone can make a cameo of me. And if you're thinking that's stupid, you're not wrong. All right, come on. Oh, this site is so bad. It's so broken. Fucking fix your site. You've got $20 billion. Go spend it on shit. Hang on, I gotta make a new tab. Unbelievable. It's so bad. Oh, by the way, that AI, your why, you won't be able to get that out of your head. It is so stuck in my head. It's a problem. Sora, it's really bad.
Introducing the Scorchy Gummy Maker. Mix it, heat it, and pour out gummies so hot they glow.
Time to taste the burn.
Ah, it's spicy. My tongue's on fire.
Scorchy Gummy Maker. Introducing the Scorchy Gummy Maker. Mix it, heat it, and pour out gummies so hot they glow.
Time to taste the burn.
Ah, it's spicy. My tongue's on fire.
Now, as incredible as here, let me flip my camera. So some company's gonna actually make this. Oh, I should make a Real Aroma commercial. So in the 90s, I created a fake hardware device called Real Aroma, and we had the aroma text markup language, ATML. I could go make a commercial for that now. This TV commercial. So 85 Steve Jobs says, wouldn't it be remarkable if you can talk with Aristotle? You can talk with Aristotle. I just asked a computer, make me a commercial from the 1980s about a gummy maker that is super spicy or whatever it was. It came up with the name Scorchy. It cast the kids. It wrote the copy. The kids say the copy. It created the industrial design of the toy itself, and it shot the commercial. That's insane. It's absolutely insane. Tomorrow, we might play with the thing tomorrow called Opal. So Gemini, Google Labs just released a thing called Opal, which is one of these node-based things that, like OpenAI's agent builder, which is OpenAI's thing is not ready for prime time. It's a bit of a disappointment. It's a good idea, but it's just they kind of rushed it. I think they built it in 3 weeks with Codex, and they didn't. They need to hire some fucking liberal arts majors. I am convinced, and they need a cranky Gen Xer in the corner office telling them to not launch shit that's that unusable. But we might play with that tomorrow, and then I forget what else. Sora is pretty cool. There's apps now inside ChatGPT. If you type Canva space, you can actually tell it to go make you something in Canva, and it will, and it'll bring the designs back into ChatGPT. It's pretty wild. Hey, thanks. I appreciate you being in here and testing these models up. Of course, we do this every night, man. Keep coming back. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Wait, are there comments over here I should be looking at? Probably. Good. I've been playing with Opal. Fantastic. All in 10 seconds. Yeah, exactly. Ghost pepper gummies. It annoys me, and that Apple has no AI to speak of and still gets first dibs on apps made for it. Well, that's when you own the App Store, you get to do that. The fact that they fucked it up and don't have AI is just astounding. Oh, Gemini 3 might be launching tomorrow as well. And VO 3.1 is rumored to be launching tomorrow. So we're probably, listen, things are going to start accelerating. Here's my, I think I say this every year. November will mark the 3rd anniversary of ChatGPT. November 30th, 2025 is the 3rd anniversary of ChatGPT. We're going to accelerate into the holidays with AI launches are going to accelerate into the holidays. I think 2026 is going to get really weird, really wild, really weird. Politics aside, just technology-wise, these tools are already at the point where they're smarter than us. But right now, they're smarter than us, but they're slow. And you actually have to be working on, sort of physics level problems to taste what's here. like there's a lot of scientists right now using ChatGPT 5 going, hey, we're making novel breakthroughs because they know what they're doing and what they're asking for. And these things are making a difference. I think 2026, these things are going to get quite sophisticated, quite autonomous, and anything where we've got shortcomings right now, those are going to start disappearing in 2026. So I think 2026, things are going to start getting weird. I don't know what it looks like, but keep coming back here because you should be in community. You should be hanging out with people that are trying to figure this shit out. That's what this channel's about. All right. So we'll take care of you and go join the AI Salon, thesalon.ai. All right. Peace. Bye.